afternoon again. We're on to day 3. This is welcome to Weekday Word, which is part of Lovechurch Online. My name is Jeff, and I'm part of the church family here. And I would just like to recap what we've been talking about on Monday and Tuesday, and it is the verse of Isaiah 40, verse 31 that says, "But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint." Now, yesterday I shared a personal experience of what it was like for me to be flapping about and not necessarily running and not growing weary, or walking and not being faint. No, during that time, that personal experience of mine, I was definitely in faint mode. So, but God quickly picked me up and got me back into my vision, back into this idea that you need to soar again. So today, I want us to look at, first of all, why aren't we soaring sometimes? And to recap from day 1 was, if you want to fly, you got to take the risks. And if you wish to soar, you got to do the hard stuff. And I've been watching the Olympics. Hopefully some of you have been watching them too. They're very inspiring, and boy, oh boy, those men and women, they do the hard stuff. They put in the hours, they put in the training. They brush themselves off and get back up when they fail. And I want to know what's stopping us from the flapping phase to the gliding phase. What's preventing us to reach that phase 2? And gliding's good, okay? Seagulls glide, certain other birds glide. You'll see sparrowhawks and certain birds that can glide, but there's not that many that actually soar. We'll talk about that later on. But the gliding is good. The only problem with gliding is that gravity takes over. Okay, the bird's got to work itself up to a height, it glides, and it's always coming back down. So there's a lot of work involved in gliding, whereas soaring, that's a different matter. But what happens? What happens to us that finally get to experience a bit more height and get up there in that gliding phase? Well, I'll tell you what happens to adults. A lot of the times, they end up giving up. They end up not persistent enough to put in the hard work. Children, on the other hand, completely different. And a good analogy of this is learning to walk. If you are a 9-month-old child and you're trying to get from crawling stage to walking stage, you're going to make a lot of mistakes. There's going to be a lot of stumbles, there's going to be a lot of falls, there's going to be a lot of bruises, there's going to be a lot of tears. But that child doesn't turn around and think, do you know what? That's it. I've had enough of this. I'm just going to go through life crawling. I will go off to nursery school crawling. I'll go off to regular school crawling because it's just too much. I've failed too many times. I'm not putting in any more effort for this. Okay? Children don't do that. Children are much better at taking the risks. And if you've got more than one child, even if you have just one child, you know what I'm talking about. By the time you have 3 or so, you see the amount of risk and you just sit back and say, oh yeah, you know what's going to happen. And you don't sometimes intervene. Whereas on the first one, you're trying to catch them every time they fall. But let's look at why we as adults don't have that same risk-taking ability and desire to keep brushing ourselves off. And I'll tell you why, is I think a lot of times we learn something. We learn an adult trick that Adam and Eve taught us. Yeah, that's right. Adam and Eve taught us this. See, when Adam and Eve ate from that tree in the garden, Jesus decided to show up, and he had to call for them. And for a minute, I thought they were playing hide and seek. I thought Jesus was really into games. But Adam and Eve were hiding. And Jesus eventually called them out, and they came out, and they were not only hiding, but they'd covered themselves up now. And this is where I want to go with this today, is that we are really, really good at covering ourselves up. Okay? We can cover up cracks. Some of them are inadequacies, but a lot of them are false inadequacies. There's a famous quote I read one time that says, "Don't read beauty magazines. They will only make you feel ugly." And it's so true. There's so many false inadequacies that the media throw on us, advertising throws on us, okay, telling us that we have imperfections that aren't even there most of the time. However, some imperfections are there for a reason. They're there because we're supposed to turn back to Jesus and ask him to deal with our imperfections and help us through things. Okay. Let's look at statistics. When we think of ways that we and the world like to cover things up. Statistically, the cosmetic industry in this country is 10 billion pounds per year that women, just women, spend on cosmetics. But men, they spend 5 billion a year, and that's growing every year. Okay, so that's a huge industry. Worldwide, globally, that industry is a 372 billion pound a year industry. Boy, we are good at covering up. Now, I mention this because of the shirt, for instance, okay? I have nothing against people who like to wear nice clothes and have nice things in their house and spend a lot of time during lockdown renovating their homes or their back gardens and putting money in things like that, even though at the same time, I'm a big believer in John Mark Comer, and I strongly recommend The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry as a book to help declutter your lives, okay? So there's two sides to everything. So I strongly recommend that book. But back to this shirt. This shirt is a Tommy Hilfiger shirt, and this shirt, believe it or not, is over 30 years old because on the shirt are 3 letters, SCM, Student Christian Movement. When I worked in the Bahamas for 10 years as a teacher, the pupils at the end of the 1 year, I think it was my last year I was at this school, they presented me with this gift. I've still got it this day, I still wear it. And so sometimes you spend a bit more money on something and the quality still lasts. So there could be a good message in that. John Mark Comer would tell you, you only need the one shirt. You don't need the 22 others that are in the wardrobe. I'm still working on that. Okay, so conclusion. Be aware of what you're really covering up and seek prayer. Connect groups are a great way to help you through some of this process. Okay, to strip the layers back. Often they're layers of insecurity. And guess what? We've all got them. Every one of us. Some of us may need more than just a group of prayer friends, prayer warriors, or people close to us. Some of us may need professional counseling. You know the campaign, It's Okay Not to Be Okay. A great campaign. And we encourage anybody who really needs professional help. Those were the type of people Jesus was drawn to. He wasn't drawn to those that had whitewashed tombs and were filthy and smelly on the inside. He was drawn to those that you could read them from the outside. So let's pray today. Let's pray that, Lord Jesus, strip us back. We try too hard sometimes to create our own image, when rather we should be there to try to be in your image and try to follow the image that you set for us. So help us again, Lord, to strip back the layers, focus on you, and Lord, we want to fly. Amen. Let's finish today with the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory are yours, now and forever. Amen.